On this edition of Idaho's Missing Children, we are pushing the Michael Vaughn case into the spotlight. Michael Vaughn disappeared on July 27th, 2021. He vanished. He was last seen wearing a blue Minecraft shirt and black boxer briefs with lime green stitching and flip-flops. Lisa Marie, this is a case that is so near and dear to your heart. I have seen some of your social media where you are approaching people and saying, look, Michael Vaughn is still missing. And I recall, in fact, this really powerful moment when you were doing a gubernatorial debate and you took time to say, Michael Vaughn is missing. Michael Vaughn is still missing. And you have really pushed the urgency of this case. As I look at this one, it just hits me right in my heart. This 5-year-old little boy just vanishes. It's every family's worst nightmare.
I mean, I'm telling you, the only reason why I've been running for these elected positions, people say, why? And I'm saying, because we have kids that are missing. So if you're going to go ahead and have me be your elected official, of course I'm going to do more than that, but I'm acting like governor. And that's what we have to do, is we have to act like we run the whole state in that mindset.
Mindset is truly everything. This is a case that is just so intriguing because there are a lot of things being thrown around in terms of theories, but at the end of the day, 5 years later, we just came upon that 5-year anniversary, there are still a lot more questions than answers.
There are. And when you don't have a body, which proves, and I do want to tell the audience, always listen to every segment, because we're going to talk about, you'll want to listen to them because they all attach together.
Right.
It's like a
It's
Britannica.
connected. Yeah,
it's like a Britannica.
We're connecting the dots for sure.
What we talked about in the previous segments was the case of John L. Matthews. This is a case that I am constantly reflecting on, because if her body had not been resumed over 30 years ago, then they would not have been able to pin that our gubernatorial candidate, Steve Pankey, who ran for governor in 2018 with me, and Raul Labrador, Tommy Alquist, and Brad Little. That was a huge case. That was one of the biggest governor runs, having Tommy and Brad Little and Raul, and then I'm the only girl.
Right.
And the interesting part is, here he is, the number one suspect, and that isn't what caused the finding of John L. Matthews. It just happened to be destiny that they found her body at the construction site.
Can you imagine how people reacted knowing that a gubernatorial candidate had been arrested for a cold case murder 30 years prior?
Yeah. And I mean, unfortunately, she's dead. There was still, Stephanie Crane could still be alive. Miss Smart was not. We have to find Michael Vaughn. People go, why that case above another? Right now, it is imperative. Every case in Idaho needs to be looked at because no one knows what they are. I'm working on each of them on my own. I'm not going to talk about them all right now, but right now, we have to find Michael Vaughn on a statewide level, on a national level, and on a global level. Because there is a chance that Michael Vaughn, it's 50-50. Until we have a body, we don't know if he's dead or alive. We can have as many theories as we can. I've not seen enough evidence that there was enough evidence from body parts. No parts have been found.
We just have DNA.
DNA is not enough. Right? And that's the reason why Stacy is really pushing to be able to be let go. And this is the reason why the case is not solid. It's very difficult to keep anyone in jail. I mean, I'm working on cases right now that those were murdered and now they're getting out after 25 years.
And this, of course, is Stacy Wondra, who is the suspect at this point in the disappearance of Michael Vaughn. but there are a lot of questions surrounding that. And as I understand it, Stacy Wondra is now pointing the finger in some other directions.
Yes. If Stacy Wondra is fact, that means that his wife is supposed to be in jail and the two accomplices, as he states that they were suffocating him and burying him and everything else. Now, the other theories that I've been working with detectives around the country and specialists and a number of people that actually get hired by law enforcement, clairvoyant, that solve cases, is that if he is alive, he could be anywhere in the world, right? And that this was just a staged at this point.
To throw people perhaps off the track.
Yeah. I mean, it's good right now because look, they've only got one in jail. Like, if they set it up, go look. You don't know how powerful that these people are that, and I don't want to keep using the word child trafficking. It's far more than child trafficking. Right?
What's interesting as well to me, Lisa, is that Stacy Wondra is not saying, nope, it never happened. He's not denying some more. He is just implicating other individuals and saying he was not the main guy.
Right. And let's just again bring the theory that he is alive. Then this is all a concocted story. Right? I mean, just ponder on that one. We don't know. Now, if he's dead, we have to find his body.
Right.
Someone knows something, and we have not spread this out enough. I mean, this has to be as big. What we as a state have to do right now is act like John Walsh, looking for John Walsh's son.
Right.
That's, as a state in a unity, this is the only reason why I ran for governor. And I had other candidates wearing you see the volunteer badge that I have in front of you? I'll hold it up.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, I wear that everywhere. I wear that in California. I wear that in Florida. Because I tell people, you never know. A Floridian child could be up here. We don't know. We don't even know the pictures of the kids that are missing in Florida. Now, people say it's too overwhelming. It is not too overwhelming if you go really hard on certain cases and you keep them in people's eyes on what you can do in the community. And right now, what the community can do and the infrastructure that I've been telling people to lay down right now for Michael Vaughn is that in Meridian, where the Idaho State Police are, we have a printer there, modern printers, that agreed to pay for these posters, double-sided. If you could, this is that's one format, and then that is the Homeland Security, and then the other poster is the official Idaho State Police clearinghouse, and then on the back of it, we wrote Michael Vaughn is still missing. And call the Idaho State Police. They'll send you a link. Print these posters, give them to all your employees, put them in public sight, pay for billboards right now. And the general public, any one of you that just have so much money you don't know what to do with it, get Michael Vaughn's poster up on the billboards. Pay for every electronic billboard in Idaho. I mean, we have to show predators here. If we do that, predators are not going to even want to come close to wanting to take our children in the state or outside the state. We don't give a clear enough message.
Well, you've got a point there, because it stands to reason that predators are looking for states who are just sort of asleep at the wheel, their heads buried in the sand. So this kind of a collaborative effort is going to, I believe, go a long way.
It's a tipping point. If we have 1 million posters and billboards and door hangers, I was a real estate agent. We had everything. Little business cards, pins, sweatshirts and hats, all Michael Vaughn flooded all over the place. You go in the grocery store, you got 10 people wearing a sweatshirt. I mean, we can do that as a community.
Let me ask you this, Lisa. Have you spoken to any of Michael Vaughn's family?
Not the direct family, but friends to the family. I have, personally speaking, I've been waiting for them to come to me. I've been out there enough. If they get inundated, they don't know me. I mean, the best thing that I can do at arm's length for every missing child is just do the footwork. Get out of sight, out of mind.
It's very true.
All this whole phone thing is garbage. Even though it goes fast, you cannot rely on just everything being seen in your phone.
Well, and we are learning that more and more. the power of this kind of connection. What message is Michael Vaughn's family sending through friends?
Well, you know, in the beginning, which was very sad, but it's what it is, you know, you have to rule out family members as suspects. You know, just like what happened, what we'll be talking about in the next segment on Dear Koontz. And that has to be just disgruntling.
It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, and people are still pointing fingers at the family.
Even after 5 years.
They were pointing fingers at John L. Matthews. They're just pointing fingers at Stephanie Crane. And here's the thing. There are cases where it wasn't the parents, but it was friends of the family, someone who knows them. So statistically, at least 50% of children missing, murdered, I mean, every list that goes on. The booklet that has, there it is. If you can grab that one right there. Yeah, the comic book. So this is the law enforcement press release. And I worked with this with many in law enforcement and outside law enforcement that do this full time. And so in the middle of the night, they had said to me, when we were in a place that was scary. I mean, I've been in very scary situations. And they just said, you know what you're not thinking of, Lisa? You're not thinking about all the reasons why a child can go missing, aside of falling down a cliff, accident. It is missing, of course, human trafficking, which everyone has now known. 8 years ago, you didn't know the word human trafficking. Kidnapping, organ harvesting, suicide, drugs. If they're on drugs and they're gone, they're missing, not going to see them again. Satanic, murder, child prostitution, mental abuse, torture, sexual molestation, homelessness, incarceration, slavery. It's a whole bunch. So far outside of just human trafficking.
Right. The one that we tend to go to. Once upon a time it was kidnapping. Now we've kind of evolved to realize that there are many different avenues. But the one thing they all have in common, Lisa, is they're evil.
They're evil.
It's evil.
Evil.
And this is a battle.
I look at when everyone still says pandemic. It is a pandemic. And I can tell parents right now, it's going to take billions of your dollars to keep your children safe. You cannot rely on law enforcement. They're grossly underfunded. They state it right then and there, or you would see much more being done, and they can't. They can't give an average. If a child goes missing, what's the average amount of money that is spent? So parents and PTAs, all of you have to get together and just say, what are we going to do when one of our children goes missing in our own state, in our own county, in our own city?
And we really do have to be proactive, because when something tragic happens, emotions run high. So you've got to have a plan in place before. And Lisa, coming up in our other segments, we'll be talking more about that.
Yeah, the plan. And I could say all of you that are group organizations, you can just start going in on the internet, call the Idaho State Police, and start making phone calls to the different counties on what kids are missing, and have your own book like I did. I made a book, a notebook with all the kids that were missing, the ones that were found. I would put them in another book. I did all that myself and made those phone calls.
Yes, and we are going to certainly, in the coming segments, include strategy so that we can empower people.
Yes.
All right. Join us again next week for another edition of Idaho's Missing Children.
That was tight.
Yes.
That was so good.
Yes, I think that was
That gave me chills.
I'm glad we did that one.
Because,